Right, so I just thought while we're waiting for, I might just take my glasses off for a minute, while we're waiting for some other people to join us. I do know that a lot are unable to join, obviously, because they're at work, and that many are going to watch the replay later. But for those of us that are here, I thought we might just come into a space and take some deep breaths. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to invite you to do the same. And we're just going to really breathe from our solar plexus here below our heart in our upper stomach. And just breathe in some golden light. Breathing in. Just holding that light, feeling it move through the cells of your body. And release. Breathing in. And release. Taking one more deep breath. Just giving yourself permission to be fully present in this space. And release. Just releasing anything that may distract you. Beautiful. If you know how to do this, because you may want to chat with me, and I invite you to say hi in the chat box. Tell me if there's any audio problems, if you can't see something properly. I'm going to invite you throughout the webinar to do some things in the chat box as well. So just familiarize yourself where that is. But if you know how to change your name, because some of you, it just says iPad, or it doesn't actually say your name. So it would be great if you know how to do that. If you don't, that's okay. We'll be able to work through that together. I feel really blessed that we're doing this webinar. We're on the eve of a new moon in Cancer. So the energy is really nurturing, you know, and I guess the medicine of this new moon is around us coming in and feeling at home within ourselves. So, which is a wonderful energy as I open into the webinar of B.A.S.I.C.S, which is believing and seeing inspiring creative solutions for your soul path. So it really is about coming back within ourselves, and I'm going to guide you through that today. In a moment, I'm going to share the screen and start the PowerPoint presentation. But before I do that, I'm going to just speak in a little bit about why I wanted to do what I call B.A.S.I.C.S, where we can believe and see inspiring creative solutions for our soul path. I feel that really since last year, and you know, right through to now, there's been a lot of endings and a lot of beginnings and a lot of change for a lot of people. And I noticed that what happens when there's change is that a void is created. It's like there's a bit of a space, an empty space within us. And what happens is that often people want to fill that void really quickly. You know, I just want to fill it up again. And when we're doing that, we're not coming from a space where we're making really creative choices. We're normally just wanting to fill and keep going and keep moving. And we're not really coming in and honoring ourselves where we are experiencing change and transition in our life. So when I was thinking about the void and things like that, it sort of made me feel like, you know, where we need to come back to basics, where we need to have a strong foundation. You know, when we have a foundation, it means that we have tools of support that we can always draw upon when we're experiencing change and different circumstances in our life. And that really was my intention, to actually speak into the area of basics, because through a lot of my groups and a lot of, really inspiring platforms that we see now, I'm seeing that there's a lot of really, really big souls on the inside, but that a lot of you are actually struggling to transition that big on the outside, where you're really stepping in and shining and sharing in all areas of your life, rather than just being aware that I feel so big and I feel like I'm going to burst because I've just got so much light and so much to share. But how on earth do I do that? And if I feel like I want to do that, wow, am I confident? I'm a bit afraid. Do I trust in myself to do that? So these are all the reasons around why I wanted to just share this webinar with you today. And also that it leads into a program that I'm going to talk about at the end. So I'm going to share my screen now. And did anyone want to put any, I'm going to just put my glasses on because I need to do that for the chat box. Okay, okay, all right. If anyone wants to just say hi, share with me anything. I can see my chat box here, and yeah. All right, so bear with me for 1 second. I'm going to share my screen now. All right. Now, how's that? Can someone just give me a yes? I'm seeing that. It's all good. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay, so I should have moved up into the smaller area. So here we are with basics, believing and seeing inspiring creative solutions. And that's something that I'm really excited to share with you today. I've really already talked with you into the area of why I wanted to create this basics, and I've got it just on the PowerPoint here as well. How that when we experience endings, we can have feelings of loss and separation, how we want to fill that void straight away. And it's also a time when we ask ourselves lots of questions and, where am I going? Who am I? What we're normally doing though is asking ourselves the same questions. So I'm a little later in the presentation, I'm going to share with you how it's important to ask new questions, not just to ask the same questions. And to give yourself time to answer those questions. We put so much pressure on ourselves to keep going, keep going, keep going. So we want to really move into a different space around that. A soul stretch, I've already said that I can feel a lot of you, so many beautiful souls really lighting up on the inside and wanting to be able to translate that into their life. I just want to say here that really, 10 years ago, I was definitely on the carpet in a space where I had a really big void. I had no idea how to fill it. I was asking myself a lot of questions, and I really developed a lot of tools, and I knew that it would always be my intention to shine and share those with other people. And there have been, several times, throughout the years too, that there's been endings and loss, and where I've had to really call in those tools in powerful ways. But what was beautiful is that I did have those tools, and that's something that I want to share more around. So the thing is, there's always going to be endings and beginnings in our life. We don't need to suffer. We just need to have really good tools of support. The first decision through any process, through any intention for change, is to decide to be your own best friend. And this is to love yourself madly, deeply through any process of change in your life. That is number one. Love yourself. put yourself on top of the pile, not at the bottom. We're going to put ourselves on top of the pile as we move through change in our lives. So again, we're coming into what basics means. I realized that there's 6 letters in the word of basics, but I called A and N. So I've said there's 5 steps: believing and seeing, inspiring, creative solutions for your soul path. So are you ready to believe and receive new possibilities for your soul path? Now, if you're asking yourself that question, I'm actually going to step in a little bit and just answer for you. Absolutely, you are ready to believe and receive new possibilities for your soul path. I know that because you're here in this space with me now. And so somewhere inside of you, you know that there is a spark within you, and you're ready to shine, and you're just ready to receive some tools of support, some inspiration to really support you to stepping onto your soul path. So one of the most beautiful ways to support yourself in believing in yourself, in seeing the beauty of where you are right now in your life, is to understand that you are intimately and intuitively aligned with the cycles and seasons of nature. And this is one of the most beautiful ways for you to see and understand more about yourself. Now, I'm going to align the different cycles of your life with the cycles and seasons of nature. So spring is birth, summer is what I call bloom, autumn is a death, and winter is renewal. So if we look at spring, that's the birth, that's the beginning of, actually, I've just skipped forward. I'm just going to go back and talk about it before I give that example. Right. So so spring is like the birth of an idea, the beginning of something, a new job, a new relationship. It's a beginning. We then move into bloom, which is we're fully inspired, we're taking action, we're feeling awesome, we're high vibrational, we're in full bloom. We've got life force flowing through our body. And we can go on like this for, a period of time. Obviously, it varies with everyone, until we hit into perhaps a challenge or an obstacle where we realize that there's something that we need to let go of, an old belief, a limiting pattern, something that needs to die, something that we need to let go of in order to let in something new. So if we visualize a beautiful tree here at the moment, we know that, trees will let go of dead leaves. They will just let them go. So this is what autumn is about. It's about a death. It's about letting go of habits, patterns, old beliefs that are no longer serving us. And when we rise and are willing to let go and grow, we move into a time of renewal where we need to really come into a space of sanctuary, a space to really reclaim our sense of self, to go within, and to really create some new positive choices from a stillness within us, a really beautiful, heartfelt place that we gift to ourselves. And then, we find that in this space of stillness, we're much more able to intuitively feel where we need to go, and we will get new ideas and be inspired in new ways. And so we come into spring, we come into birth, and off we go again. So I'm going to give you this as in a relationship example. We experience the beginning of a relationship, birthing a relationship, we're aligning, this goes into full bloom, when you first begin a relationship or a friendship. It's very exciting. You're doing lots of different stuff together, really inspiring each other, enjoying the companionship, everything else that comes with really being in relationship. And then this can sort of operate at full bloom for a while until it sort of slows down a little, and perhaps old patterns, old beliefs sort of rising and nudging up, and they're ready for us to have a good look at. They're ready for us to let go of, so that we can experience more of the essence of who we really are and come into a right relationship, an expansive relationship. So we're letting go of old beliefs, anything that's an obstacle in our relationship. And we're willing to let that go because we're excited to grow both within ourselves and together. So we then let it go. We sort of come into a time where we're integrating, we're adjusting to letting go and experiencing a new sense of self, a more expansive sense of self. And, we're just happy to be in sanctuary, to integrate it all. And then, we come back from, a new moment in time, and beginning and continuing on from a higher perspective in our life. And we're back into spring and again. So you can apply these cycles and seasons into all areas of your life, into when you're starting a new job, for instance, anywhere. It is for you to see that when you can see that you are intimately aligned with nature, it gives you a great understanding and capacity to accept and surrender and allow, and to actually see that you cannot live your life in full bloom 24/7, 365 days of the year, which really on our planet at the moment, so many people are doing, because this completely goes against universal law. There's no time to experience the essence of who you are. So I'm going to ask now, does anyone feel that they can see which season they're in, which cycle they're in? Does anyone want to pop that in the chat box? Let me have a look at that. I'm in spring. Beautiful. Kari's birthing, beginning something. Shane's in summer. Shane's in full bloom. Yeah. Tanya's in winter. Tanya's in a time of renewal and retreat. Beautiful. Yeah, I too am in summer. I really felt at the beginning of the year there were some things, some endings in my life, and I honored that. I came into a space of self. I really, through giving myself that time, there are a lot of ideas, a lot of things that came up for me. Some new ideas came in, and I'm in full bloom at the moment. When new ideas came in probably 3 or 4 months ago, I went into action, and I'm still in that area. I'm really stepping out. A lot of time when we're in full bloom, we can really be stepping out of our comfort zones as well, and really going with an inner knowing. All right. So it really is when we align with nature, we are accepting where we are. We are trusting that this too shall pass. We are going with the flow. If we look to nature, nature is accepting of all seasons. This too shall pass. Can you feel when you align with the energy and the seasons of nature that you feel a great sense of relief, and this is who we are. It's to look for nature so that you can believe and receive new beginnings in your life. always growing and evolving, always seeing the beauty of you. So that brings me to and. And's just a little one. Nothing will change unless you do. And this is really important to get. If we are not willing to change one little thing, and if any sort of change overwhelms you, just start with something really, really simple. Because one small step has a massive ripple effect in your life. One small step that you commit to can absolutely change you in phenomenal ways, ways that are not apparent to you, straight away. So for example, if all you decided to do was to switch off the television 10 minutes earlier than normal before you went to bed, and spent that 10 minutes in gratitude and appreciation for all that you are and all that you are becoming and all the small and big things in your life. That one change, that one intention that you commit to will create phenomenal change in your life. So it doesn't have to be a great big massive thing to move towards self-mastery. It can be something little, do for you, do what feels right for you. And like I said before, love you through this process. So that moves us to seeing. So we're believing and seeing. Your soul knows exactly what you need to experience to feel happy. Now just let that sink in a bit. Your soul knows exactly what you need to experience to feel happy. So I'm going to get you to ask yourself a question. Have I been too busy to be me? Have you been operating in full bloom, 24/7, 365 days a year, like we talked about in believing? Have I been too busy to be me? Because if you've been operating in full bloom 24/7, it is impossible for you to see, hear, and sense your own soul signs. It's impossible because you have not allowed yourself that season, that cycle that comes into renewal and restoration. So as I said, your soul knows exactly what you need to experience to be happy. Now, when you slow down and align with your seasons and cycles in your life, then you're creating the time to go within, to pay attention to your soul signs. What do you daydream of doing? Where do you drift off to? What are you doing? Are you traveling? Are you singing? Are you speaking? Are you gathering groups? What ignites you on the inside? What really makes you feel great? Is it nature? Is it being with people? Is it solitude? Is it meditation? Is it reading? What ignites you on the inside? And who are the people that inspire you and why? So I've got a little quick thing. I'm going to ask you to quickly think of someone that inspires you. Rock star, movie star, mom, auntie, uncle, friend, neighbor, work colleague. I want you to think of who inspires you, and I want you to type in the chat box 2 reasons why they inspire you. So it's like, ready, set, go. Let's see what people say. I know you're thinking. Who are people that you notice that you think, wow, what is it that you notice about them? Okay, Shane's just asking, can everyone please type it in the chat box and not on the screen? Shane said, Bono. What are 2 reasons? Why? Give me 2 reasons, Shane, why it's Bono. his passion and commitment to others. Okay, so someone else. Let's get a couple more. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Oprah. Thank you, Tanya. Overcoming adversity and new age ideas and her message. Tamika, my mother. What were the reasons, Tamika? Let's share a couple of things. Kari, Greg Braden, phenomenal capacity to share knowledge for the expansion of human consciousness. Love it. Tamika's come back, strength and compassion. Susan, all right. So I've asked you to do this for a particular reason, and I'm going to tell you why. Who you notice and who inspires you is your soul asking you to notice those people, because to a greater or lesser degree, you have those same qualities within you. You possess them. Your soul sees this truth and guides you to notice these qualities within other people so that you can see them in yourself. You know, Kari, phenomenal capacity to share knowledge for the expansion of human consciousness. That brings you alive. That gives you a great insight into where you can walk, where you want to walk. You know, strength and self-power, strength and compassion. These are qualities that you actually possess, and you may not, these may be a little suppressed, you know, within you now because of different situations in your life. But the fact is, your soul sees this truth, and your soul guides you to notice inspiring things in different people, so that you notice it in yourself, so that you see that these are the qualities that you possess, that you can work with, that you can expand. If you can see yourself doing amazing things, you can be that amazing. Let's line that all up. Let's bring that back. We're moving into the seasons of nature. We've gone into renewal and restoration. We've given ourselves a point of peace, and we've been inspired inspired by other people that have inspired within us new ideas, awakened within us something that we begin or birth into our life, big or small. So we're going to go on to inspiring, believing and seeing, creative, inspiring solutions. Be good if I could spell basics. Okay, inspiring. So when you are believing and seeing the beauty, the qualities within you that your soul is showing to you, then you naturally become even more inspired, and you want to know more about your new favorite topic, which is you. Sorry, bit of a tongue twister, that one. So we want to know more about you. You want to get really curious about you, and you want to inspire you, and you want to understand more about what inspires you. What are your interests? And this is where a lot of people can trip up a little bit. It's like, I'll say to them, well, what are your interests? And they go, I don't know. I don't have any interests. I don't know anything. And you know what? That's okay, because we did reach different points in our life where we've been operating in full bloom 24/7, and no, we have no idea what our interests are, what makes us feel happy, what inspires us. So we've sort of got to go within and remind ourselves. Now go in deeper, because there will be something in there. Even if you can only see that your interests are looking at sunsets, reading books, watching movies, well, that's great, because you can actually shift your focus there and go, well, I'm going to bring in some different reading material. You know, I'm going to actually expand out and, you know, look for some more inspiring books. I'm going to watch some documentaries that, you know, because I love watching movies. I love being inspired. So I'm going to really, you know, expand out in that area. I'm going to, you know, enjoy more sunsets. And while I enjoy those sunsets, I'm going to sit in meditation and I'm going to feel more of the beauty of me. So these are interests, and they're a really good place for you to start. You have to start somewhere. You have to inspire yourself to begin somewhere. So even if it's just a little thing, you know, like reading or movies, or, you know, perhaps you really love catching up with people. Well, you might step into, you know, moving in with a group of people who inspire you, joining a meditation group, doing something like that. The other thing is that, you know, reach out for a mentor. And sometimes, you know, we find a mentor in books, you know, we get inspired by that, like, you know, Greg Braden and things like that. Or we, you know, physically connect one-on-one with a mentor. But it's really important that you begin to connect with people that light you up on the inside, and that really inspire you to want to grow, you know, and want to know more about you. So actually, there was one thing, I'm just going to go back here. There's one other thing that I wanted to put into inspiring. I want you to know that you are like a big spiritual sponge. So you are always absorbing. You know, we're all energy. We're absorbing everything in our environment 24/7. We're always taking that in. So when you really, you know, sit with that, it's like, well, I want to be absorbing all the good stuff. I want to be absorbing the high vibrational stuff. I want to be absorbing the best of nature. You know, these are the things that you want to be absorbing. Now, if we think if we're not stepping into something more inspiring, and we're staying in the same environment, or we're aware of ourselves being in an environment that, you know, perhaps is negative, or there's nothing happens, there's no change, we're absorbing that also. So it's like we're continually absorbing old energy because we're not putting ourselves into an environment that's allowing us to absorb new inspiration, new energy, you know. And you can do that for yourself. You know, if you're in a situation or a work situation that is not totally inspiring, and that can actually feel, you know, like there's a lot of drama or whatever it is. The fact is, if in your free time, you're getting outside and you're being with nature, or you're, you know, reading books, or you're spending your evenings, you know, watching inspiring things, reading, connecting with groups, you know, whatever it is that rolls for you, then your sponge is filled up with a lot more high vibration to better be able to be in the situation that you find yourself in, and that perhaps over time you may want to change that up. So I just wanted to add that in for you before we moved on to creative. Now, your mind is a magnificent machine, and it will work to perfection if you fuel it daily. Now, I want you to just think about that. Your mind is a magnificent machine. You know, you operate the machine, you fuel it. If you're not giving your magnificent machine the best possible fuel, then it just goes off on its own tangent. It just goes here, there, and everywhere. And, you know, it'll try and search out its own fuel. Well, we don't want it to search out somebody else's fuel. We don't want it to go back and fill up on the same old stuff. Your mind is a magnificent machine, and it will work to perfection if you fuel it daily. So how can I do that? What kind of fuel? This is where you need to get really creative. You need to spend time visualizing. you need to see in your mind what it is that the bigger picture for your life, what it is that really you want to create in your life. Do you want to travel more? Do you want a better job? Do you want to step out of your, work and step over here into something much more inspiring? Do you want to create relationship? Do you want to create abundance and wealth? So you want a big picture here, a really big picture of what it is that you want. And I want you to get really specific around it. If you want a house, well, visualize the house. Where is it? If you want to travel, where are you going to go? There's no point rocking up to a travel agent and going, well, I don't really know where I want to go. No idea, actually. Maybe you could suggest somewhere. I'd be pretty happy just going anywhere, really. This is how the universe works. We want to be saying to ourselves, I want to go here. Actually, I want to go to Hawaii. I want to go to a retreat in Hawaii. This retreat's happening here. Be really specific. Visualize. Let your mind go wild. Fill it with all this beautiful imagery, and keep a journal or keep a gratitude journal or just write things down. If you love to express yourself that way. Not everyone rolls that way. The most important thing is however you want to get creative in fueling your magnificent mind, then do that. Do what resonates for you. Don't do what everyone else is doing and feel that you should. Do what works for you. When we get creative, we have to be really mindful around our thoughts and our words, our divine dialogue to self. We want to speak really kindly to ourselves. We often speak to ourselves like we are our worst enemy, and we want to pay particular attention, when you standing in front of the mirror in the morning and you're there going, oh, I don't like this. I'm feeling, oh, I hate that. I wish I could change that. All dialogue that needs to change. You need to be standing there going, I love you. I love you so much. You're awesome. You've moved yourself from X, over here to Y here, and we're going to keep going. So really speak some I am statements to yourself. I am powerful. I am wise. I am beautiful. I am a money magnet. When you're creating change and fueling your mind and getting yourself inspired, these are ways, that can inspire you. So give me a statement. Let's see some. What pops into your mind now? I am, boom. I am ready to change things up in a positive way. Yay, Susan, love it. Let's have some more. I am radiant. I am inspiring. I am inspirational. I am ready. I am remarkable. I am sacred in my skin. I am an abundant being. Yes, you are. What else? What else? I often say to people, if you're wanting to really think about, some I am statements that really bring you alive, what would you like people to say about you? Wow, Kari is just so abundant. Her energy is amazing. She's an incredible being. You can really tell that Shane just loves his life. iPad, hi iPad. iPad says, I am magnificent. Yes, you are. These are things that you would love for people to be saying about you. So, they're going to pull you up a little bit. These are character traits that you want to really aspire to be. I am powerful. I am empowered. I am fun. I am love. I am light. Anything, whatever comes in for you. So thank you for sharing those statements. That's awesome. So these are all ways for you to get really creative. So like I said, you're wanting to alter your dialogue to self. Be your best friend, not your enemy. As I said before, what you speak to yourself in the mirror it's going to be magnified. That's what a mirror does, tenfold in the positive or the negative, you know, but we stand there and we beat ourselves up, boom, boom, in the mirror. So it's going boom, through our body, through our vibrational fields, and then we're going out into the world. So, you know, be positive, you know, say things to yourself that are really inspiring, you know, because you're beautiful. You know, so again, you know, we want to create a really big picture for ourselves, because a small picture is going to enslave you. It's not going to expand you. So, you know, you can also add in a statement like, I am bold, I am brave, you know, I am imagining a really big picture for my life and I'm living it now. You know, it's like I said in seeing earlier on, if you can see it, you can be it. But I'm also going to change that up too, because if you can feel it, you can be it also. Not everyone is a visionary, you know, so it's important that, you know, you see it or you feel it. It has to resonate for you, however you receive it. We all have different, you know, clair gifts, clair senses. Now I'm moving on to solutions. Okay. So I'm just going to be really straight with you all and say, you are either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. Now, what are you? Be really authentic and be really honest with yourself. You know, I believe that you're here joining me in this beautiful space, showing up because you're part of the solution. You know, you found that willingness to really awaken, to really expand your awareness. So, you know, all those steps that we've talked about in, you know, believing, seeing, inspiring, getting creative, these are solutions. You know, this is support for you to move forward, basically. Your problems are your greatest teachers. Your problems are your greatest teachers. And here's why. Because they stretch you. You know, they stretch you. Your soul is saying, you know, look at all those inspiring people that you notice. You know, look at Oprah, look at Bono, look at Mom, look at all those people. And notice, you know, notice how they're showing up and shining in their life. You know, many of them, everyone has problems. Everyone does. You know, problems are possibilities. You know, we do not need to suffer through problems. It's a great learning opportunity. It's a great gift to be able to stretch through that. You know, if we're honoring the seasons and the cycles of our life, and moving, surrendering, accepting, growing, glowing, all these things. Stop resisting. Don't resist the things in your life. Don't resist the urge to change, because what you resist will always persist. It's not going to go away. Quite frankly, it's a bit like a toothache. You know, if one begins, it's just not going to go away on its own. So it's the same thing. And you have the power to choose expansion or contraction. You know, what is it that you want? I know you want to be expansive. The energies on the planet right now are pushing us to come into our power, to really open ourselves, to be vulnerable, to surrender to something new, you know? So when you choose to focus on expansion and infinite possibilities for your soul path, through all of the above steps, magic happens. You know, and magic is like when you realize that you have more life force. Magic can be small or big, you know, but magic will happen. You begin to see more of yourself. That's magic. You know, you are inspired to read a different book, to join a group. That's magic. You know, you can choose that for yourself. Small steps. You choose. The other thing in the area of solutions is to ask for help. So if you are feeling stuck, decide to ask for help. This is one thing, and particularly for women, Well, actually, and men too, all of us. I don't know why I split that in two, because that's not true. The fact is, none of us want to ask for help. We are, we go into, I'm just going to soldier on, I'm feeling really stuck, I'm confused, I'm afraid, I'm in a bit of a spin, I'm spiraling down, I'm stuck. So ask for help. When I'm facilitating groups, I always say to them, write out the problem, the challenge, whatever it is, because I know that half the healing through this is you actually writing it all out and pressing send. Now, I may not be able to respond to that till later. I may not be able to respond for quite some time, but I'm quite certain that just because you've made the time to sit down and write out everything that's happening for you, you're already beginning the healing process. And then you press send, and it's almost like you've just handed it over. So find someone who can really hold a big space for you. Reach out to a mentor, decide to, get support, get something that's, someone that inspires you. You can have a 1-hour session and be in total illumination, as opposed to spending days, weeks, and months in self-doubt. It's a no-brainer. But we have to ask for help. And again, this is really where we're being our own best friend and going, right, I'm going to call in some support here, and I don't want to stay stuck. I'm a big, beautiful being, and I'm going to ask for help. I'm going to put myself on top of the pile, and I'm going to ask for help. Yay, So I don't want you to focus on your problems. I want you to focus on the possibilities. Possibilities become opportunities. You hold the power of your full potential. But at the end of the day, you have to make a decision. Make a decision and do it now. A small decision. When we were up in changing it up, doing something different, if all you did was switch off the TV and spend 10 minutes in gratitude and appreciation. Well, if that's something that you're going to do, make a decision and do it now. If you want to, my mind's gone blank. If you want to do a gratitude journal, great, make a decision. If you want to find yourself a mentor, make a decision and do it now. Can you see the energy of it? Boom, straight away. Make a decision and do it now. I'm not sitting there going, when we get into the process of making small decisions, then that's us walking into being able to make much bigger decisions and choices for our life. But we have to be fueling our magnificent machine. We have to be preparing our magnificent machine that we're making decisions. We're making small ones, and then, we're working towards some really big ones. So make a decision and do it now. I'm going to say it again. Be sure, well, I haven't said this, but be sure that you are the solution and not the pollution. When you are transforming from where you are now to where you want to be. So when I say pollution, I actually mean, what are you putting into the mix? What are your thoughts? If we're thinking a lot of negative thoughts, then we're really polluting our space here. It's like we want to really shine and share our light and have positive thoughts, positive choices. These are the solutions, not the pollution in our life. Okay. So I'm going to bring it all together now. So we've gone through the basics of what I call believing and seeing inspiring creative solutions for your soul path. All right, so believing, when we talked into that area, believing in the beauty of who you are, feeling yourself align with the cycles and seasons of nature. This is Earth Mother wisdom. This is divine law, so and when we can see and understand where we are in our cycles and our seasons, then we are immediately more accepting of ourselves. We're accepting, we're more likely to surrender. Oh, I mean, I've really just let go of a lot of stuff. You know, I've let go of a lot of old patterns, beliefs, endings, and you know, I'm integrating this. So I'm going to give myself that space of sanctuary. Oh, I'm going to breathe into it. It's beautiful. I'm feeling myself just surrender and honoring who I am. When I'm in this space, for as long as I feel aligns for me, I also know that I'm feeling inspired. I'm feeling new ideas, new possibilities come rising up from within me. And now I'm feeling to begin that. So believing in the beauty. And nothing will change unless you do. We know that. Seeing your own cycles and seasons, really going within yourself to inspire yourself, to take the time to ask yourself new questions, and really pay attention to your soul signs. Not only that, pay attention to signs outside, pay attention to the signs and symbolism of nature, you know, from the animal kingdoms, from the angelic realms, you know, for those who love numbers like I do, number sequences. All these things, ask yourself new questions, see more of you, you know, see more of who you want to be. Inspire yourself. So we're going to choose people, places. We're going to choose to learn more. We're going to surround ourselves with a lot of inspiration so we can really keep inspiring ourselves and keep our vibration high, you know, and really keep in that flow. You know, we're flowing, we're growing, we're evolving. We're not resisting anything. Can you feel how we're just, there's a beautiful energy of flow. There's no resistance. You know, we're accepting and we're loving ourselves through this process. We're getting creative with the fuel that we're feeding our magnificent mind through divine dialogue, you know, beautiful words to ourselves. I love you, you are enough. All those kind of things. We're keeping a gratitude diary, we're visualizing, we're journaling, we're joining groups, we're doing whatever it is that resonates for us. But most of all, we're getting creative. We're thinking outside the box for ourselves. We're taking full responsibility for being part of the solution and not the pollution in our lives. You know, so we have the power to choose whether we're going to respond or whether we're going to react. You know, we want to respond with life. You know, again, look at nature. It doesn't fight anything. They understand that it's continual growth, continually evolving, you know. So we want to respond to life, with life. We don't want to react. We don't want to resist. You know, we don't want to delay our greatest good. You know, so we're going to believe and see inspiring creative solutions for our soul path. And we're going to make a decision and do it now. Does anyone have any questions? Before I'm going to share what I call my top 10 tips in a minute to really loving yourself. But I just want to ask if anyone has any questions. Just let's bring it on. Put it into the chat box if you do. So I've just got a couple of top 10 tips here, which I'm just going to read through with you quickly. But I wrote these because it's around expanding self-love. So, you know, this is really part of you being your own best friend. And these are some tips to really work with for you. Okay, so number one, visualizing daily your body as a vessel of light, bringing in the golden light rays of wellness to you and through you, into every cell, you know, letting go of all the old cords of attachment to drama and doubt, and really allowing this beautiful golden flame to fire up within you. You know, and I like to be really creative and suggest that if you feel that you're time poor and you can't spend the time really sitting and visualizing this, then do it in the shower. Visualize that the water coming down and around you, flowing from the shower, is actually golden light or white light, you know, things that can really lift your vibration and change the way you feel. You'll feel great. Okay, tip 2, buy yourself a beautiful journal that you really love to look at and you love to hold. And I want you to think of this journal as your book of new beginnings. You may have no idea what you're going to write in this journal, but the fact is you've bought it. You've bought something that's beautiful. It's inspiring. The cover's gorgeous. And this is your book of new beginnings. And there will be times when, you know, you just want to use it for gratitude. You just want to write down everything that you're grateful for. You know, and gratitude is an attitude that you really want to adopt, because it'll alter your whole life. You know, when we're grateful, the universe gives us more to be grateful for. There might be other things that you really want to write down. I want you to remember, though, that when you're writing down things that you're wanting to manifest, always work from I am, always work in the positive. But a journal will bring you great joy, you know, great joy. You may not have to write in it every day, but just think of it as your book of new beginnings. And when you feel inspired or something drops in for you, just write it in your journal. Tip 3, spend time in nature as often as you can. You know, it's really important that we ground and anchor ourselves. This is a great tool of support for B.A.S.I.C.S. And, you know, to surround yourself with the beautiful vibrations of the trees, the gentle, loving waves of the ocean. It's always going to revive you and really support you with feelings of peace and abundance and empowerment. Nature is so inspiring, and, you know, allow yourself to let that in, to experience that. Tip 4, we've talked about this, speak kindly to yourself, you know, but it's also to know that your thoughts and your words are powerful. They are your wand, you know, for creating a magical shift on your soul path. So love and appreciate your beautiful body, your vehicle that you've been blessed with this lifetime. Nurture yourself. You are enough. You are worthy to receive in radiant ways. I love you. It's like we're going to ignite a love revolution on the inside. You know, that's where we're going. That's what we want. A love revolution on the inside. Begin and end your day with 5 to 10 minutes of stillness. Focus on your breath. Really allow peace and calm to settle within you. You know, meditate to illuminate. I actually have a group called that. So it's where a simple daily meditation practice will reduce stress levels and enhance greater feelings of self-love and well-being. And you will, in a much more natural way, align with the wisdom within you if you create a meditation practice for yourself. Tip 6, you do not need to see your future, you need to see your potential. So, you know, I don't want you to allow doubt and negative thinking to send you into a downward spiral. It is your birthright to live a beautiful, rich, and abundant life. You know, this is the time where, you know, if you need to seek help, ask for help. But it's for you to know that small, significant steps forward will reinforce your potential to feel empowered to walk in new ways. Tip 7, do not feel remorse. Remorse is an unusual dynamic. It has its roots in parental and peer influence, where, you know, we may have felt that we should have walked this way. We should have followed in someone's footsteps. We should have done what they told us to do. You know, we're never going to find happiness and joy by doing what others tell us to do. You know, we're just not. So it's to let go of feeling that we should have done that or shouldn't have done that, and reclaim your personal point of power and really find a passion and purpose that is perfect for you. You know, surround yourself with your soul tribe, surround yourself with people who are uplifting and inspiring. And that may mean that you actually have to reach out, you know, you have to step out and find some groups and whatever it is. Tip 8, when in doubt, dance it out. Music is the best medicine ever. Dancing, singing, laughing, all totally free remedies for staying light. Walking, stretching, moving your body, really shaking off that old stuck energy. These, you know, with the added vibration of maintaining, I was meant to say the added bonus, with the added bonus of maintaining a high vibration. You know, the minute you start to move your body, you literally are shaking off the energy, you know, shaking out your sponge, you know, if you've kind of absorbed all the stuff that you don't really want there. Dancing, singing, it's all really beautiful ways to do that. Tip 9, I probably should have put this at the top, but it's in here anyway. Have you said yes when you mean no? This is huge, absolutely huge. And I would suggest you actually take time after this webinar and over the next few days to think into this. Have you said yes when you mean no is one of the top ranking reasons why you can experience feeling frustrated, cranky, overwhelmed, disappointed. You need to put yourself and your soul needs first. So this will mean speaking your truth and communicating effectively and in positive ways. Many of us are not okay with saying no. You have to learn to honor yourself and say no, you know, and honor your energy levels, honor your cycles and seasons. Where are you in that? You know, so really, have you said yes when you mean no? Really feel into how that affects you. Now that I've made you notice that, you'll, most people who haven't seen that before really get a lot of benefit from what they see around that. Tip 10, create ceremony. Those of you who know me know that I am a huge lover of ceremony. Candles, oils. I have a big altar in my meditation space, but I also have an altar pretty much in every room of the house. Your soul thrives on ritual and ceremony. It's in your DNA. You know, I like to think of your DNA as standing for divine nurturing ability. So your DNA, your divine nurturing ability, craves ceremony and ritual. You know, it's a beautiful act of self-love to place some beautiful flowers, you know, not only for yourself, but, you know, as an offering to source or to divine or to God or whatever you like to call, you know, the universal energy. It's also a very significant way to say to your soul that you're trusting in abundant outcomes and new directions for your soul path. So there's 10 powerful tips to really support you in coming into a greater space of self-love. Now, what I want to just talk about is I am really excited. I'm launching my new online program next Thursday. This program is called the Soul Path Shift. 8 steps to creating trust, confidence, and clarity of purpose. Now, this is all expanding into the areas of understanding what your soul needs to be, to feel, to be happy, understanding your values, understanding limiting beliefs and how to release those. There are a lot of things. I'm going to go through that with you now. So in the 8 steps, step 1 is what makes you happy, discovering your soul needs. And I have very specific ways and very accurate ways of really supporting you to understand that for yourself. Step 2, what will support you? So choosing your being values, and I call them being values because it's a state of being, you know, that you are embracing in your life. Step 3 in this program is what will free you, where we are lifting limiting beliefs. Step 4, what will awaken you? This is a deep area. This is seeing your emotional payoffs. And this is something that it's really important, and it's something that I really love to work closely with people and support you through that. Step 5, what will direct you? This is understanding attachment. Step 6, what will empower you? This is creating daily radiant routine. Step 7, what will connect you? Some wonderful tools around feeding your faith. And step 8 is what will illuminate you, and syrup, looking at syrup, true syrup for your soul path. So this is the Soul Path Shift, 8 steps that I've just walked through with you. It's all about anchoring new awareness, insights through powerful tools and techniques that connect you to a greater understanding of your purpose. And I'm here to inspire you and 100% support you as you birth new beginnings on your soul path through this program. I just want to say to you that it was really important when I created this program that I got to have one-on-one connection with you. So after steps 1 and 2, we have 30 minutes Zoom time. After step 5, we connect again, you know, because this is powerful, and it's really in my heart to know that you are on track, that you're feeling supported, and that I'm here. You know, there's a Facebook group, there's email. It's really important to me that you know that you're supported through any process. So we have some options here. You can read the payments. So as I said, 2 30-minute soul shine Zoom sessions, Facebook group, ebook around meditation, how to begin a daily dose of love and appreciation for your soul path. And you can see the amounts and the payments there. Obviously, I'm extremely aligned with the sequence of numbers, and we will be forwarding to you a replay link for a start. You will have this in a replay, and you'll also see on that page I speak into the area of the symbolism of the numbers, also in the actual title of the course itself. That was important to me. Option 2 is really stepping it up a little bit, where you actually also have a soul path reading with me, which is, you know, an hour. Because I am also a channel, for those of you who are new into this space and you don't know that, I've been doing that for many, many years, both online and in person. So, you know, at some stage during the program, we connect and actually do a soul reading for you. So there are definitely some bonuses because you have, you know, shown up and shared your light into the webinar. So you can read the bonus for option 1. Another 30-minute soul shine, which I'm suggesting you do at the end of the program, so we can really make sure you're flying. There's discounts for paying in full. Option 2, we extend that last Zoom session to an hour, and again there's other options, and all of these you can reread again on the it'll be included when we send you the link, replay link. Oh, that's beautiful. Truly, thank you for allowing us to join you on your first webcast. Blessings to all upon this new moon eclipse. Also sending love and beautiful light to you all. Oh, beautiful. Shane's put a link into the chat box there, but we'll also email it to you as well. So it's, I've just seen it's on the screen there. I'm gonna laugh. The Soul Path Shift bonus registration link is in the chat box and will also be emailed. It'll contain a replay. And we're tossing up whether to put the PowerPoint presentation into a PDF. If you would really like that, maybe put that in the chat box, because that's something that we can do as well. The bonuses are only available for 72 hours. Feel free to share the link with your friends. Feel free to tell them that it's only for 72 hours. It's going to end on Sunday. I'm really excited to launch the Soul Path Shift. I'm also feel really blessed by all of you that have, oh, I missed something. I'm just trying to see what's in the top of the chat box. I can't. Thank you, Tanya. Wonderful moon today. Thank you for your love, light, and generosity. PDF would be lovely. There's something else, but I just can't quite see it. Beautiful. I just want to say I feel really blessed to be able to give this to you today, and I can feel that the energy wave all held a really big heart space for me. So thank you, and I would, you know, just love to support you in any way that I can, and yeah, blessings for your journey. You know, make a decision and do it now.